I'll say hello. My name is Mike Long. I'm an artist. I live in Texas. I'm a disabled veteran, and I have fun with my life. I noticed that when I started this, there was no such thing as bottle cap art in 3D. There are other people that make flat sculptures and run wires through certain things and make snakes, but I saw a news report on a father and son who'd created 3D sculptures out of Legos, and I'm going, well, that'd be great, but you can't really glue these together, and I didn't want to copy him, and so I figured that I use a stapler and I'd put them together. I'd take a piece of wood and start with the first row, and then from there it would build. So this was the beginning of my bottle cap sculptures. This was the first one. I had a garage sale, and I figured I would kill my time while I was sat there. And so this was the start of it. That was number one, that was number two, that was the finished product. I sold it for $350. They're completely hollow, as you can see, and I put lights in them to make them glow. This is number two. It started out with the name of It Got Away From Me because when you nail these together, there's a centrifugal pressure against the plunger that goes against it, and it pushes it away as well as driving through, so you have to be careful. It will get you. I can guarantee it's got me plenty of times, but it's a learning process. So as I built this, you can see how the nose kind of twisted, and so I looked at it, and the more I looked at it, I just said, well, it was Crazy Horse. And this one was started by my daughter. She took and made a square, in which case she was going to call it a house, and she stopped after a couple rows, so I just went ahead and I envisioned a hand coming up, and so I made a hand. And first I put Miss Mardi Gras on it, a mask, which I collected several of them to use for different art projects. But then I found this, and it created a new vision, and I call it A Handful of Dreams. This one started by my son, and the base broke, so I started it over again because he didn't finish it. And I call him Mr. Get Along. It's an antique bathtub handle recycled that looked like a walker, and I said, well, if it's a walker, it needs a mini man. And so he stands about 18 inches high. I finally used a plaster product to go around the face and put marbles in his eyes, and painted his head to give him a little more personality, so Mr. Get Along got along. And this was my unicorn. He started out with every different color cap I could get to put into the mane and the horn, and they rotated around, and he has all kind of spots and personality like a paint horse, and he's unique. This was Buffalo number 2. Now when I made him, I figured, well, I wanted to establish a market for it. So I contacted a local auction house, and he said, oh, we'll put it up and we'll market it on the internet, and we'll have a couple months of people seeing it, and we'll get some reaction to it. And so he saved it to the last of the same auction, not a couple months. And then he sold it for $90, and he took $30 of that. So I was angry, but it is what it is, and he stole it from me. This was Miss Mardi Gras. I wanted to see if I could create the shape of a person, but being that it's bottle caps, you can't get true details, so I put a mask on it, and Miss Mardi Gras came to life with candles and stuff behind her. This was a wire sculpture that I'd already purchased because of its uniqueness, and I had the vintage toys, so I put them in it, and I called it my hero tree. This was recycling. I purchased these numbers all at a garage sale, and so my son and I built this. It's a wind wheel. When the wind blows, it rotates. We sold it to a lady that approached the owner of the Chicken Farm Art Center here in town, and I told him $125, and my son was all excited. I'm going to get $125. So I told him, I said, son, I'll give you $50. He says, wow, if I do 1,000 more, I'll have $50,000. I says, okay, son, I'll support you, but I love your enthusiasm. This was buffalo number 3. It's been on loan at the Sealy Flats, a blues restaurant. He has a blue light bulb in it. And we'll be taking this and other pieces up to the Fort Worth Stockyard area. We have several galleries that are interested, so we're going to take a road trip and see what we can do. But just to show you how these things evolve, this is the way I start. Flat surface, build layer by layer. There was no count on these, but I can tell you that there's definitely over 3,000. As you can see, there was 1,250 I wrote down, and it just kept growing like it should have until it developed and you saw the way it looked. Bottle cap fun is, I think 3D. I do all types of art, and as you can see, the way it ended up, it has personality. Every one of them does. They're individual. They're one of a kind, and nothing like them in the world. My name is Mike Long. My email or website, I don't have a website. My email is mikelongart@hotmail.com. I hope to sell these. I have a longhorn that I've just done that will be a separate video posting. I hope you enjoy them. If you want to call me, 325-315-1235. And you have a great day, and remember, art should be your passion, and it should be your fun. And I appreciate you. Thank you, and have a great day.